Hi, it's Maggie the Irish Gypsy here to bring you your May 2018 general readings. Thank you so much for joining us here today, and welcome to any newcomers. As always, thank you for all your likes, shares, subscribes, and your support, feedback, and comments. Always welcome, always appreciated. Please keep them coming. And a thank you to all of my clients out there, both regular and new, for keeping me so occupied with all the personal one-on-one readings. And as most of you know, I do a wide variety of personal readings. If any of you are interested in a one-on-one personal reading with me, you can get more information and my contact details by either clicking on the description bar of all the videos I post or going to my YouTube channel's homepage and clicking on the little About button. You can email me directly at maggie1mcguire@gmail.com. I can usually get back to you within the first day or the first 24 hours of your initial inquiry. And turnaround time for personal readings, live or recorded, is usually pretty fast because I do readings full-time, 5 to 6 days a week. It is what I do. And it can take anywhere from a few days upwards of a couple of weeks. But almost always within a 2-week period of time, we can set something up for you. And for fast answers to the quick, easy questions, the simple questions, you can also find me on the smartphone app Instantgo under Irish Gypsy. That's also with my contact details. So let's move right into this. This is for the air sign of Aquarius for the month of May 2018. Remember, these are general readings. They're going to resonate differently for everybody that watches. The specifics and details, of course, will vary because everybody's different. But the energy and advice will remain fundamentally the same. So if you know your rising and your moon sign, watch those videos as well for additional insight or more predictive resonation. All right, Aquarius, let's see what's in store for you for May 2018. We have the Nine of Cups, great way to start out, with the Eight of Pentacles. We have the Queen of Cups, followed by the Four of Swords. We have the Moon, followed by Strength. And we have the Eight of Cups, followed by the Knight of Pentacles. And from the bottom of the deck, your overall energy and guidance for May 2018 is the Fool, my favorite card, my favorite Major Arcana card. Let's start with that, actually. So your Crown card from the bottom of the deck represents your overall energy and focus and guidance and advice for May 2018. We have the Fool. The Fool is Major Arcana card, so significant, profound energies, God, Spirit, the angels, and guides here. The Fool is the first Major Arcana card in the tarot. He's the one just starting out. He has a 0 at the top of his card. And we end, the last tarot card is the World, and everything in between, all the cards in between, all the suits represent the Fool's journey, which is our journey really, through life, everything that he learns and how we grow and mature and evolve throughout life until we reach the World, being on top of the world at the end of the tarot. So the Fool is just starting out, and he represents the energy of starting out. He represents the energy of potential and promise, kind of that time in between an ending, the time before a new journey begins where anything's possible, everything's possible. The Fool is here to remind us that the true value is in the destination, is in the journey itself, not necessarily the destination. It's always good and wise to have goals and to focus on reaching those goals, but the importance of what we learn is on the way to those goals, is the journey, and the Fool reminds us of that. Often when the Fool shows up, it's about exploring and considering the potential and promise of something, a new start in something, and it may feel, sometimes the Fool can represent something that may seem a little risky or represent something you've never done before. It's the start of a new job or a new career path or a new project or moving or starting a dating or a relationship with someone that's different than anybody you've ever been with before. So it can represent stepping off the beaten path, exploring the potential and promise of something that you don't have experience with. So a brand new journey and a brand new beginning, the potentials of what might be, what beautiful things might come from this new journey. Now we have the Nine of Cups and the Eight of Pentacles. The Nine of Cups is a great card. It's the wish fulfillment card, sometimes nicknamed the lottery card. It's a card of overflowing abundance, basically of getting what you want. You can see that the man on this card has more than enough to eat, more than enough to drink. His physical surroundings are comfortable. He has enough that his cups are overflowing and he can't wait to share them with friends and family. Overflowing abundance, getting what you want. The cautionary advice, of course, that's usually attached to the Nine of Cups is be careful what you want, because you may get it and find out it's not everything it's meant to be. But it does represent a sense of abundance, and it is the one of the major wish fulfillment cards of the tarot. Having what you want, particularly in a physical sort of sense. The Ten of Cups is also like the happy home, happy ever after card, but it connects a bit more in a spiritual and love, heart-centered sort of way. The Nine of Cups is kind of getting what you want, more in a visceral, sensual, kind of environmental sort of way. Which is why it's represented by, sometimes like winning the lottery or coming into something that makes you feel like you have a lot, enough to share with everybody. Now it's clarified by the Eight of Pentacles, which is the work card. Pentacles energy is earth energy in the tarot. That's the element which governs this. So it usually manifests in the earthly, tangible, concrete part of our life. Tangible stuff like things we can see and touch and feel, like money, finances, resources, property, assets, etc., or tangible results that we put into the efforts in other areas of our life. It represents working a lot. It can represent work at your job, or if you don't work a conventional job, or maybe you're at home. It just represents the effort and the work you put into your day-to-day life that kind of supports your day-to-day life. It can represent working overtime, getting up early, staying up late, burning the candles at both ends. Some of you may be tired from working quite a bit because you're trying to build up a good, solid, stable foundation for yourself. It can represent repetitive work as well. It's interesting that it clarifies the Nine of Cups. We already know that your overall energy is exploring the potential and possibility for a new beginning, so it could be that something comes in at the beginning of May or the end of April, because I am recording these in the last few days of April. It could be that you gain this sense of abundance, perhaps a raise or a promotion or something of that sort from the efforts and work you've been putting into something. It could be, the interesting thing is that when I first laid the cards down, I felt like some of you were either getting away from work or away from whatever this day-to-day effort is, or having the opportunity to. Now next to that we have the Queen of Cups and the Four of Swords. So the Queen of Cups is a card it's a card fundamentally of deep spirituality, because the Queen of Cups is a very deeply feeling, deeply spiritual person. Now, because she's a queen, queens and kings represent individuals who have reached the mastery of their suit, meaning that they've grown and matured and evolved beyond the energy of the page and the knight, and they've mastered and are in control of the character traits which are inherent to their suit. Cups is water energy. In the tarot, this usually manifests in the watery mercurial area of our life that deals with emotions, feelings, relationships. So this is somebody very loving, very nurturing, very supportive, kind of the quintessential feminine energy person. Always knows the right thing to say, great source of support and love and feedback. And she's also very caring and very spiritual. This could represent a person in your life or in the situation who's significant, a water sign person, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, or somebody who manifests like the Queen of Cups. If it doesn't represent an actual person, it can represent, or you, it can represent just the fundamental energy. She's a very spiritual, very patient, spiritual person, and often when the Queen of Cups comes up, it can be advice to take a step back and see what your feelings or what your intuitive sense is actually telling you about something. And it's clarified. So why? Well, it's clarified by the Four of Swords, which is a card of rest and respite, of taking some time off or time out because you're feeling maybe a bit tired, overwhelmed, exhausted. Sometimes this card can show up when we're feeling really tired. We need to take better care of ourselves, particularly in a physical way. And it's interesting because it's sitting next to that Eight of Pentacles work card. So it could be that it talks about a temporary timeout, and I say temporary. The implication is that it's temporary because this man is still girded for battle. You can see that the swords above him are still pointing at him, which can represent the battle or the challenge or whatever he's been putting all this effort into. And his own sword is lying close by his hand should he need it. But for the time being, he's withdrawn. He's taking a time out to rest and recover, recuperate, perhaps get a different perspective on it. So a step back, taking care of yourself. You may be feeling, a bit tired and overwhelmed with what you've been doing, and your intuition is telling you that. I feel already for a lot of you, Aquarius, that this Nine of Cups, this wish fulfillment card, may be connected to a new opportunity that's coming in, or perhaps even a physical, like money or resources or something which has come in, which is perhaps could give you the opportunity to withdraw for a bit, to get out, to rest, to recover, to take care of yourself. If not a new opportunity to start something new, it could be a new job, new career path, new project of some kind. Now next to that we have a combination of two major arcana cards. We have the Moon and the Strength. And it's interesting, and the Moon is a card of deep visceral spirituality as well, connecting with that. And it's interesting, it's sitting next to the Queen of Cups, which is a card of deep spirituality itself, really trusting in your intuitive abilities. And I feel like perhaps over the month of May 2018, Aquarius, you should pay more attention to your intuitive sense, any flashes of insight, your dreams, etc., because the Moon is about connecting to that deep sense of spirituality, to find your way, to kind of clarify and guide you when things don't appear to be all that clear in your external environment. And because there may be something about this new beginning or starting off on a new path or a new opportunity which may have you afraid to walk away or walk into it because of what you may be leaving behind, even though you may be feeling tired or stressed or overwhelmed. What you have, or what you're thinking of walking away from, may provide a sense of security and stability, perhaps financially, just perhaps the security of knowing what you're going to be doing every day. But you're being asked to face your fears and doubts and insecurities about whatever it is that's in front of you. The Moon and the Queen of Cups is telling you to kind of step back from fear and doubt and insecurity and explore what you feel you really, what is your intuitive sense really telling you. And our intuition is our connection to the divine. It's the conduit, or the cable, if you will, by which we get messages and intuition and that pulling one way or another. Now the Moon is clarified by Strength, which is about facing your fears, your doubts, your insecurities, you know, your stressors, what you're afraid of. It takes a great deal of strength and courage and humility to do that, but it's also what you gain more of by going through this process, kind of wrestling with your demons, making the changes that you're able to change, and being at peace with walking through them. Because when you get to the other side, you go through it and get to the other side, as this woman is doing. Her head is held up. She is striding. She has wrestled her demons. She has made peace with them, as symbolized by this lion, and she is striding forward courageously into her future in motion. Beautiful card. Now towards the end of May 2018, we have the Eight of Cups with the Knight of Pentacles. So the Eight of Cups, as you can see, is a card of turning your back on something and walking away. And the cups represent what you're leaving behind. Some of them are upright and full, and some of them are tipped over and empty, implying that you've tasted and drunk from most, if not all, of whatever it is these cups represent. And at the end, you may have thought that they were interesting or satisfying for a time, but you've come to the end of it and you're just like, this isn't really what I want. This isn't giving me this sense of overflowing abundance. It can represent disillusionment, something turning out to be different than you thought it would be, or something that's just run its course. And he's definitively made up his mind to turn his back and leave whatever these cups represent. He may not have made up his mind exactly where he's going or how to get there, because he's still standing there surveying the horizon, but he knows he's leaving. He's dressed for travel. He has his hat on, his cloak on, his walking staff in his hand. He's ready to go and leave this behind, whatever it represents for you. And it's clarified by the Knight of Pentacles. Pentacles is more of that earth energy here, and Knights can represent the situation, the speed at which a situation moves. The Knight of Pentacles is the slowest of all four of the Knights because he's governed by earth, but still steady, reliable. He'll see it through. And but Knights often represent offers or opportunities being brought to you or placed in front of you, because they are the bringers, the deliverers of the tarot. They go off on their missions and quests, and they're very single-minded and focused. It's all about achieving success and bringing back the results of that success. So offers and opportunities, and this would be one tangible in nature. It's not an uncommon card to come up for, you know, job offers or tangible new opportunities, tangible offers, which means that it's an offer which is probably going to make, you know, a difference in your day-to-day practical life, a difference that you can feel. Hence, like job opportunities or job offers or project offers or something of that kind. Now, the combination of the Eight of Cups and the Knight of Pentacles could mean that you're walking away from an offer or opportunity, but because the Eight of Cups most often represents walking away from something you find disappointing or disillusioning, and your overall energy is exploring the potentials of what could be in a new beginning, in a new journey, I feel like a lot of you have a new offer or opportunity in front of you, and a lot of you may be, at least more towards the end of the month or at the end of the month, may be deciding to trust in that, have the energy of the Fool, trust in that intuitive sense, which may be pulling you to start something new, because what you're currently been doing may have run its course, or it may be at an end, or it needs to be at an end. And even though there's some fears and doubts and anxieties about it, you're being asked to face those and walk through that. And I think a lot of you will by the end of the month. So most of the month it looks like more of a contemplative kind of listening and thinking energy, and more action or activity towards the end of the month. So Aquarius, that pretty much sums up your May 2018 general reading. I hope that you have enjoyed it or found it useful, that it maybe gave you a little bit of feedback, or raised some insight with you, or validated what you were already thinking and feeling. Again, if any of you are interested in a more personal one-on-one reading, please feel free to email me directly at Maggie1McGuire@gmail.com. I would be most happy to work with you. You can find that information by clicking on the little About button on my YouTube channel's homepage, or the description bar of the videos I post. And for fast answers to the quick, simple, easy questions, you can also find me on the smartphone app Instantgo under Irish Gypsy. So Aquarius, I will see you all again in a couple of weeks for the May 2018 mid-month readings. And until then, as always, I wish you joy, peace, blessings, and a happy life. And I hope to see you back here again soon. Bye-bye.